Hello again. It's so nice to connect with you. I hope that you've had a really blessed and healing week and that you've been able to take some time to rest and relax. This week, I wanted to bring you some information, something that has recently come to light more than ever about some of the things that sensitive people face, some of the things that people who are empathic tend to face a lot. And this is about narcissism. This is about people who have highly narcissistic tendencies and, people who are highly sensitive tend to attract a lot of people like that. So we need to be aware, and this isn't about just necessarily being cautious or on guard, but just so that we can be aware that these kinds of things do happen, do exist, and it's important for us to be aware. So narcissistic people don't actually lack empathy as we originally sort of lend our awareness to, that narcissistic people who would do the things that they do must lack empathy, right? But empathy is actually, as being empaths, we feel things very deeply. As being highly sensitive, we feel things really deeply and we can sense what other people are feeling as well. But the truth is that people who have high narcissistic tendencies are also usually highly empathic, and they're able to sense and feel what other people are feeling too. They usually have a high degree of empathy and intuition. And the thing is that they know exactly what they're doing is causing hurt, is causing pain, but they don't think about it in the same way, and they don't actually care as much as people who are highly sensitive and empathic do. And so this is why it can be so damaging and so frustrating, because they can even agree with you and connect with your pain and understand it. And that's empathy. And because they say that they get it and they can totally see it from your perspective and they understand why their actions and their words are so incredibly painful to you, they may say things like they'll do things differently going forward, and they can say this again and again, especially if they know that saying this will cause you to stay with them, to believe them, and so that they can continue to manipulate you for their own intentions and essentially drain your energy and time. But this, in effect, is what makes narcissistic people feel so incredibly important, is that it's the control that they get from saying this over and over again and knowing that you'll believe them, and because you're a compassionate, empathic person, that they can tell you whatever they think that you might want to hear, and they even might spell it out in a way that they completely show you that they get what they're doing, but they actually lack compassion. It's not empathy that they lack, it's the compassion that they lack, because they'll continue to manipulate you for their own intentions and essentially drain your energy and time. And so when compassion is what's lacking, because they know and agree with you, that they know that they're hurting you, but they don't care, then we can say that they do have empathy. They can feel it. They actually can use that to manipulate you. But what's missing is the compassion, the want to actually stop the hurt, stop the behavior that is so harmful, whether they're lying, they're cheating on you, or they continue to say that they're going to do things, even if you don't ask for them, but they don't actually show up. They don't show up for you in the way that they say they will. And, that's essentially manipulation. And anyone, who does that really intentionally and knows that what they're doing is causing you pain, especially if you have conversations about it and they say that things are going to change and they can connect to your experience, has a lack of compassion, and that's narcissism. And so when someone lacks compassion, they just don't care, and they will always just choose what they want for themselves without consideration or compassion for you, no matter how many conversations you have and no matter how many times they say they get it, because they ultimately do get it. They know they're hurting you, and they'll continue to drain you and your energy as long as you stay with them. Highly narcissistic people don't lack empathy. They lack compassion. So self-sacrifice and a lack of compassion for yourself is what keeps you in the cycle. And what is essential is to stop giving away all of your compassion and power to anyone who's shown you that their words are meaningless and that their actions are inconsistent to their promises. When they treat you like your needs are an inconvenient burden, respect yourself enough to see that they mean it. That your needs are indeed an inconvenience and a burden to them, no matter what they say. Because they're going to continue to choose to do whatever they want as long as it, helps them get their needs met. So what can you do? You can turn your pain into power. You can withdraw your attention and start giving that compassion to yourself, that respect and validation that you want so badly from them. Give it to yourself. When you choose to empower yourself in this way consistently, you break the cycle. You start to create a healthy relationship with yourself, and then the world starts reflecting back to you in healthy ways, including relationships with others that are healthy. I know that this can be really hard to hear because you want to believe so much that someone in your life who has shown you so much inconsistencies didn't start that way. You started in a really positive way, then you felt the love. But just understand that it is a very difficult thing to break and to heal the narcissistic cycle unless you remove your attention and give it all back to yourself. So if this resonates for you and you do want to break the cycle and stop living in silence with this, I'm here for you. I've been through it. I know how painful it is, and I know how to get out of it. If you want to talk to me about it, you can book a confidential consultation, or you can just simply book a session with me, and we can work through some of these things with coaching, psychic guidance, energy healing, trauma healing, and learn to give yourself the boundaries and the self-love that you need to create a life that's free from these painful cycles. It's time for sensitive, smart, and spiritual women to be empowered and to know that your sensitivity and compassion are your superpowers. So from my heart to yours, and sending you so much love and light, take good care, and we'll talk again soon.